All right, everybody. What's up? What's up? Oh man, I miss you guys. How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of JLat's another podcast. I'm your boy JLat the Comedian. How you guys doing? Sorry, a little late starting. I had some technical issues with the equipment. I just bought this soundboard, uh, and I couldn't hear a voice through my system, so I gotta figure out what the hell's going on with that. Um, how's everybody doing? Everybody all right? Let's just get right into it since we're late. And I know you guys have been impatiently waiting. Um, what's going on? Vaccines, guys. We got some vaccines out for COVID. Um, Normally that would be good news, but what's kind of worrying me is all the people who are taking their anti-vaccine stances. Here's the thing about anti-vaccine or vaccines in period in general. Vaccines don't work unless most of the population uses it. That's how we got rid of polio. If a few people do it, half the population, something like that nature, the virus is still spreading. So what's going on? People are objective about it. A lot of black people are too, and which really is hurting because COVID has killed many of us in our community, and it's not just going to magically go away. It's a virus. That's not what they do. They want to infect. So how do we get rid of it? Unless you guys want to keep wearing these damn masks and having weddings via Zoom, saying "I do" over a microphone, something's going to have to give. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, mostly it's just conspiracies, Tuskegee experiment was not a conspiracy. It really happened. And he used that as a basis for not vaccinating and other stuff. The government wants to implant chips in you. I've heard it all. Look, people, you're dealing with science. All right. And I know most of us aren't scientists, aren't doctors, don't study germs and stuff like that. But there are people who do. Um, and one of the people you're very close to is called your doctor. And I can't stress this enough, people. If you have questions about a vaccine, the side effects, stuff like that, ask your doctor. Okay. Not just a doctor, your doctor, the one you choose. Okay. Or if you're going to ask a doctor who fucking studies diseases, germs, the human body, and then get other opinions. Don't just go on some YouTube website and some guy in a fucking lab coat telling you because that there you're just feeding your own bias, and that's the problem. We like to feed our own biases. We like to feed what we already believe and not challenge our own thoughts and ideas. And that's what leads mainly to our destruction. Because if we keep running around with these crazy ideas we find on the internet, we're not going to go nowhere. This shit ain't going away. So I implore you guys, listen to your doctors. Listen to people who study this shit. And stop asking questions on Facebook and trying to get information from people because they're about as ignorant as you. I see it all the time. People ask me, "Oh, I know about these vaccines." And then you're going to get other people who feel the same way, and then you become your ideas become rejuvenated by their agreements, and all you have is a echo chamber of people with the same beliefs, no further knowledge of nothing else, and just spewing ignorant stuff. Which the problem is it's going to lead to other people getting sick. It'd be different if it was just you thinking and saying this shit, but you can spread a disease and kill people. A lot of people I'm starting to know that are close to me are getting it now. It's starting. It's there. It's spreading. My job. It's spreading in my job. So yeah, guys. So read up, and study up on this stuff. Don't just like go with your first instincts and just don't go off of crap people are saying online. What else is going on? Our president. Oh man, are you watching the calendar? Are you clocking out? Are you like looking at your clock like how man, this guy is kicking and screaming. He's like a kid, you know, who doesn't want to go somewhere, and they're pulling on everything, and you gotta, like Trump is definitely going kicking and screaming, man. It's an interesting dynamic here, people. In Georgia, there are 2 Senate races that are in a runoff because the ones in November didn't get enough votes. So what Georgia does, which is kind of smart, they have a runoff, so that they had, like a 3-way vote or whatever, and the person doesn't get enough votes, they have a runoff. And then the last 2 people with the highest votes, they it's like a playoff situation there. So you have 2 Senate races in Georgia, which could determine if Mitch McConnell keeps making our decisions as far as the Senate goes. So you have an interesting dynamic here. Of course, Republicans, they want them to win, but here you have Trump saying that Georgia, which Biden won, but here's what happened. Most of the people rebuted Trump, but they voted downline for Republicans. So a lot of people who didn't vote for Trump still voted for the Republican senators, Republican congressmen, or state house Republicans. Biden won Georgia, but he didn't win. He didn't carry over with the Senate. So now this is just a runoff race with just the senators. But here you have Donald Trump saying the shit is rigged, and all these Republicans either agreeing with him or just being quiet about it and not standing up. So now you have Trump supporters actually saying they're going to boycott the election because they think it's a fraud. And I you know what? You guys might have a point. I think we stole this election. You guys should just sit at home and sit this one out. That's all I wanted to get into as far as what's going on. So thank you guys. Welcome back. I didn't do my show in like two or 3 weeks because the holidays and stuff like that. I had this nice board. I had all these sound effects, which I gotta learn. I thought I had it down, but I don't. So just my lovely voice. I got this one sound effect here. This is all I got here, guys. Wait, where is it? Where is it? The echo one. Wait. I haven't used this in so long. Wait. Oh, there it is. That's my only little trick to this. I can make myself sound way important in a room full of a bunch of people. But I digress. So we're just going to have to deal with you, me, and our friend here. All right. So my first and only guest, I'm the host. I'm the first and only host. My first and only guest is a friend of mine, a female friend of mine I've known for many years. Let me read. I'm going to read some of her bio. I don't want to read her whole bio, but I'm going to read some of her bio. I met her. I think we went out to see a movie. Oh yeah, I remember. We went to see a movie called Noah. Yep, Noah, the biblical story about Noah collecting all the animals, and that story. You've heard of it before. I'm not even going to go into it. So our first host is Sharema Harvell, aka Raido Rema, the Great. I'm reading all this stuff she said. I don't tend to agree with any of this stuff, but this is stuff she said. The Great Raido Rema, born in the Bronx, but currently relies. I could say that too. Relies in Harlem of New York. She resides there too. I can't read. Sharema Raido Rema Harvell is a comedian, a radio host personality, a hostess, and a TV show producer. She is the voice of those who are afraid to speak of the unspoken. Raido Rema always knew she had the gift of being a personality. After being interviewed on a radio show in 2010 and realizing how much she loved it, she decided radio was her new love. But she didn't start out that way, nor did she end that way. I'm going to end it right there. That's pretty dope. I call her a Renaissance woman because she does a lot of stuff. And you're going to hear it, and you're going to get something from her. I will say this: you will get something from her, definitely. So we're going to let her in, and here we have Miss Rated Rema, Radio Rema, Sharema, Harvell. Any other names you got?
It's a billion of them, but you could
Yeah.
just call me Remo.
All right. Call Rema, everybody. Rema, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you, Jay?
I'm a little pissed off. My little thing didn't work. I had laughter, I had applause, I had all this shit there, and yeah, I got to figure out the audio input on that. But anyway, enough about me.
It's
So,
okay. Maybe one day your little thing will work again.
yeah. I'll take some pills for it. Who knows? So I call you a Renaissance woman. You do a lot. You've been through a lot, and you do a lot. Name off. Give us a. Let's start off with this. Where did Rima start off at? Tell us your story.
Mm. I don't even know where to start. That's a lot. All right. So since I got a platform, I might as well, right? I want to say my story started about 5 years ago, but I had so much life for like 6 years before that. So it's like I want to go there. So let's start in 2007. Can we start in 2007? Is that cool?
Is that when you were born?
No, but that was when a lot of things in my
Nothing
life
happened
had
before
changed.
that. Nothing happened before that. Really?
I mean, real quick, I was born in
No, I don't want your whole
1982,
story. Yeah, I don't want
right?
your. Yeah. Go
Anyway, in
ahead. Get to
2007,
the good parts.
I'm gonna get to the good parts. A
Yeah, I
lot
don't
of
want to
people
hear.
know
I don't
me.
want to hear how you did in your spelling test in third grade. Go ahead. Get to the good parts.
A lot of people know me from the adult industry, which I don't mind that they know me from then. In 2007, I had a boyfriend that turned to my baby father many years later. But I had a boyfriend at the time, and we were very adventurous in the bedroom, and we were always looking for to add people and spice to the bedroom. So we had ended up going to a swing party. At the swing party, I was introduced to the adult entertainment world because we were able to just, be free in front of all these people. So they was like, well, you can be free in front of people, be free from the camera. So from 2007 to 2000 and about, I want to say 8, 9, I had gotten to the adult industry really heavy, but I was more so like the party girl. I like really loved hanging out at a lot of the underground BBW parties, um,
Mm-hmm.
and just like turn it up from there. In 2008 and 9, I started having my own parties and started just, traveling a little bit. I traveled out to Los Angeles. I traveled to Vegas. I had a lot of fun then. In 2010, I was scouted and asked to come on to a talk show. So I did the talk show. The talk show had at the time, this is 2010, the end of 2010. At the time, the show had did 5,000 some odd views. So shortly after I was scouted for that show, they asked me to come back as a co-host. When I became a co-host, I decided to drop the name that I used to be called. My previous name was Madam Trixie. I dropped
Mm-hmm.
the name and focused more on just being Trixie Matias, which was a mixture of Trixie and my boyfriend at the time last name. So I became Trixie Matias, and I did the talk show
Yeah,
for
that had
about
me a
six
long
months.
time thinking you was Dominican. Go ahead.
Everybody did because I looked Spanish for a
I had
long
to fly.
time. So
Sorry, I had to fly. Go ahead.
so I did the talk show for about 6 months. I really loved it. And in 2011, I left the show due to some indifferences. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started my own podcast called STFU Trixie, where I talked for like 2 hours. I hooked up and learned how to do
STFU Trixie
STFU Shut the Fuck Up Trixie, because I talked for 2 hours about anything and everything. And
by
this is in
yourself.
2000 by myself. This is in 2011. And what I did was I had call-ins, Skype, all that stuff. I learned how to do the setup myself. Hence
Mm-hmm.
why you'll learn that my name is Raido Rema for a reason. So as time went on, I had the show for about 3 months, and then the show had got taken off of live stream
Mm-hmm.
due to a friend of mine coming on the show, and she went to pull up her pants, and they like deaded it because they thought she was pulling it down. So
Wait.
I had an
That it,
adult friend of mine be interviewed on the show,
she
and she
pulled up her
walked past the
pants.
camera. She has a really big bum, right?
Yeah.
And her pants was already kind of like down a little bit, but her muffin top was like over it. So she went to pull her pants up and they like straight up cut it. I had people that used to watch the show and wait for like my boobs to pop out or whatever so that they can like disconnect my lines. So that's what happened. This is live streamed in
Oh, you were censored.
2011.
You were censored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2011 though, like this is like way before what we have now.
Yeah.
So as time went on, later on that year, I want to say like that following year, January of 2012, I ran into a woman and I had an idea of another talk show. And this talk show I called Out of the Box Radio. And Out of the Box Radio, when I pitched this show, I said I want to do this show in full lingerie, and I want to do it every week. And it was a live show, just like this one. And I did do it. I did it in full lingerie for about 13 months. And then for the last 2 months I was there, I did it in full clothes. And I noticed that my audience changed a little bit. But this tattoo you see here, I got live on the show. I got my nipple pierced live on the show. I was very extra on this show. It was wonderful, but it was way before its time. Why you look like that?
Because I'm like, so what was this show streamed on? Because you had your nipples out.
Well, we had covered a lot, but I had a camera crew that will come in every week and just film the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, right.
We were streamed on, I think we was on Ustream as well, but Ustream at the time was able to do like a mature audience kind of button or whatever. So most of the show we had a lot of adult stars on there, interviewed a lot of adult stars. So it was a lot of like adult content, a lot of commentary, conversation around different isms and idealistics and stuff like that. So that show soon ceased as well. So at the end of 2013, I was having a conversation right when the show ended in September with a friend of mine. And he was like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be on TV. What do you want to be on TV do? I said, I want to talk to people about relationships. He said, you got to go to school. I said, I'm never going to school. I don't want to go to school. What the fuck you mean? I don't want to go to school. So that January, I had somebody at a program I was in. She said, go to college in New Rochelle. And I'm like, I will never go to college in New Rochelle. This is January 2014. I was like, I'll never go to college in New Rochelle because my mother graduated from college in New Rochelle. My grandmother graduated from college in New Rochelle. I'm not going. So at some point in February that 2014, I came across, after spring cleaning my home, I came across a flyer for college in New Rochelle, and it was in Harlem. And I said, you know what, this guy told me, let me go apply. So that's when I started my college journey. I applied for that spring semester in college in New Rochelle in 2014. At the end of 2014,
was it online or in class?
Huh?
Was it online or in class?
In class.
Okay.
In class.
Okay.
I love the option of being in class. It was really different.
Yeah, it's better.
Especially since I didn't go to school for almost about a decade. So going back to school was like, a little bit different. Later on that year, I want to say in September of 2014, I got a rent bill that came in. It was an eviction notice. So I decided in that time that I was going to escort. So in 2014, I became an escort.
I did what you had to do.
Huh?
So yeah, you did what you had to do. Okay. All right.
Right. I was already in the adult entertainment. I was really heavy in the field, and still even in school, I was still even in radio, I was still very well engaged in the underground world, but I was not escorting until 2014. I think I tried it like twice.
You had kids at the time.
Yeah, right? I had shit to do. So
no, I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Did they know?
Eventually, there wasn't much that I could keep away from what was happening because I was a big name in the adult industry. So a lot of people knew me. When it came down to escorting from between, and this is where two things happened at the end of that year of 2014. Between 2014 and 2015 was the highlight of what I did to make money. Because not only was I escorting, but I also was doing a lot of video chat and video calls. I used to charge 15 minutes was $50.
God damn.
And for $75 was a half hour for Skype. That's why I don't understand this OnlyFans shit. Like I was getting paid to sit in front of my computer and pretty much do nothing but entertain people.
Yeah, just talk. Yeah.
So
you put those 900 numbers in the 90s out of shame. Gee whiz, 15. Shit.
15 minutes, $50, and they paid it more than once.
I
And
I do.
because
I was in Philadelphia. I was with a woman back when I was at Richard Stockton College, and she was a phone sex operator. She told me how it works. Basically she said our job is to keep you going for the whole hour to get like that 120, whatever they were charging. Like, yeah, they didn't want you busting off in the first 2 minutes. I
right.
just thought that was so funny. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
But for me, it was like you paid beforehand. So they would pay, and then I
Mm-hmm.
would sign up and click on and log on and whatever, et cetera, et cetera. So but also at the end of 2014, I run into a company, another talk show, another radio station situation. And I
Mm-hmm.
became a co-host on that radio station.
Was it our
And I was
friend?
a co-host. Huh?
Was it our friend?
I don't know.
Sean Montgomery.
No.
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 Oh, okay. All right.
So I became a co-host on that station. And that summer, like early, like that May of 2015, he had asked, like, I asked him, I was like, I want to learn the boards. I want to learn behind the scenes. Like, we had an engineer, but the engineer quit. So the show basically had me on the show, but it was a political show. And I didn't like, it was really different. And I didn't like the show too much. I just was happy to be on radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, listen, I'll tell you what. How about you teach me how to engineer and I just do that and you can keep the show to yourself. So for the whole summer of 2015, I learned how to do the boards. I learned how to engineer, and then I became the station
and you couldn't
manager.
help me. Yeah.
I can definitely help you, Jay.
No,
So
you weren't helping. Like, I was struggling here, and you didn't.
I didn't know what you was trying to plug up.
I have this thing here. Hello. This thing here. I had it plugged in, and you were sounding low. Like, I could hear you, but it was like, whatever. We could talk about that later. Go ahead, keep going.
So in 2015, I had became the station manager, and upon becoming a station manager, I had also started my new show. So here I am with another show again, and this show was called The Big Squeeze. It was me and another co-host,
I remember that Big Squeezy.
Also, right.
Yeah.
So
she blocked me. Yeah, I know her. She blocked me.
So it was me and her, and we did the show. Jay, you was actually a guest on this show as well.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I came through.
Point. Yeah,
I came through. I remember when it was all about sex. I'm like, damn, girl, like, I never thought as a man I'd say to women, like, damn, there's other things in life besides sex. Gee whiz, there's birds and shit. Like, yeah.
To me, it was just all the same. You know what I mean?
Know. But I know birds and that. Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah.
So I was still in school and I was still doing what I had to do, and the show lasted about a month. That November of 2015, I had lost my son to an asthma attack in my arms in my home, and it was devastating. And nonetheless, my life had changed into, like, I couldn't even explain to you. So the element of what everybody thinks, like, well, you stopped being tricksy because of the death of your son. The truth of the matter is, I believe that my destiny wasn't always to be tricksy. It was to learn different skills, strategies, marketing techniques, things of that nature from the game to be able to utilize that to where I was going in the time. When my son passed, I did feel like I felt ashamed to be tricksy. Even though I was so proud to be Trixie, I felt ashamed to be Trixie because I felt like Trixie got to spend time with my son, and Trixie didn't really get to pay attention to her children and things of that nature. I became a dual reality. It was weird for me. Between 2016 and 17, I still kept the job. I still stayed there. And then I started abusing drugs.
Yeah.
And
was the drug use after effect from your son?
To what I was told, it was possibly a coping mechanism that I didn't pay attention to. At the
Did you ever do it before? Were you ever?
Well, I used drugs, but I didn't abuse it. And then in this sense, I was abusing it. Like, I don't know people that did not take party drugs when they were partying. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not like an all the time thing, but it was something that became a regular thing shortly after his passing. So between 2016 and 2017, I was on drugs. a lot of people didn't know that because I was like on drugs quietly. Behind closed doors, you don't need to know or see anything.
When was the breaking point?
I
Like,
had got really hot one day. Wasn't paying attention to my body. I was dehydrated, and
mm-hmm.
I took an irritable bowel syndrome medicine a couple of hours earlier. Then I took a shot of some alcohol later on in the night, and I didn't realize that it would mix. And I also had took like a painkiller, so it was like
my
all of
God.
that. And then I attempted to take the drug that I was using. I didn't shoot up or nothing like that. It was a party drug. And I took some of it and my whole body got really hot. And in the midst of my body getting hot, I couldn't come down. And it wasn't that I was high. I just couldn't bring my body heat down. And it was scary. So that caused and started and triggered the start of panic and anxiety disorder.
Yeah, I get
so
yeah.
I had ended up with panic and anxiety disorder, not knowing that was going on. I still was going to school. I still was going, I still was working. I still was doing everything with this panic and anxiety disorder. It was weird. Doctors couldn't tell me what's wrong with me. I always was like in this pain in my head. Come to find out years later, like about 2 years later, I have migraines. Ever since my son passed, I suffered neurologic issues, and migraines was part of that. And I didn't know that. And me taking the drugs and being dehydrated and things of that nature has helped with the onset of all of this stuff to happen. So in 2018, 2017, the end of the year, I stopped working for the radio station that I was at. In 2018, in January, I was introduced to another radio station situation. And with that situation, and the reason why I'm not saying the names is because I'm not promoting them. I want that to be clear. I promote me.
Okay.
So I started working at that radio station as an advisor, station advisor, etc. When time
is that the one I just mentioned?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
When time came to pay up for what I've done, technically they pretty much booted me out. So I was like, okay, whatever. It was a great experience. I'm thankful for it, but it didn't make me. I'm still who I am without them. So in 2018, I left that alone, and I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to do radio for a while. Nothing. I want to backtrack a little bit. In 2017, I started playing with comedy. Even though I was going through what I was going through, I wanted to see what it was like to be on the stage. So I started playing with comedy stuff.
Was I your inspiration?
You were.
You
were. There was
I'm trying to you're another notch on my belt of another person I inspired to do comedy. That's not good for me. That is not good. You know why? When you look at freaking Michael Jordan play, you don't be like, man, I can go out there and do that. Nobody does that. But for some reason with me, motherfuckers look at me doing comedy and say, hey, you do comedy? Man, what are you doing comedy? Like, man.
Well, you know what it was? It was the fact that, I don't know if people know this, but me and you used to hang out when you did comedy. Yeah. Like you always invited me out to see a show. So I will always go as your support. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you go like after my set was done and all that and the show was over.
Yeah. And then we talk. And then when we did the one at when we went downtown to the Broadway Comedy Club. Yeah. And we sat inside the diner and we had that conversation. Yeah. That was a bit inspirational too, because it was like I always play with the idea that I can do comedy. Me and you talked about this. Yeah. Rest in peace to Christy Love. You had mentioned that Christy Love had told you that comedy can, she could do comedy. You're like, comedy ain't easy. And I had the conversation with you like, yeah, it's easy. But what I realized, right, was that
is not easy.
It's easy for people that are pretty much born into it. Like you gotta have a knack for it. Like you gotta already have a personality. You kind of already have to have certain attributes that will help you. You also have to know how to speak in public. You should know how to, capture people attention and things of that nature. And those are the things that what I didn't notice from 2010 all the way into 2017, I've been doing on my talk shows. Yeah. So
you got that part down, but then there's the writing aspect of it. There's the continuously going to mics and practicing and all that. It's it's a hustle.
So in 2017, I played with it a little bit and was like, oh, this is it's for me, not for everybody else. I was like, I'm playing. There's more serious people that's out there that's really taking this comedy shit serious. Let them have it. I don't
Yeah.
really, it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
In 2018, I did comedy one time in my corset, and my corset fell in front, like while I was at Comedy Club, okay, at the Boy Comedy Club. I was like, oh my God. And I got off the stage. And I didn't go back.
Titties out? What do you mean? It fell. Your titties
Like,
came out?
it was bad. Like, it was loose. And I didn't wear a bra that day. I just wore my corset. I was being cute.
So your titties came
Oh
out? What
Lord.
happened?
It almost came out on the stage. And I didn't. I was like this. And I just kind of like, I got off the stage. So in 2000 and
where was this at? I'm pretty
at
sure
Comedy Club.
Broadway Comedy Club.
Yes,
It was open mic.
In a January of 2018.
It was a regular ass open mic where you just signed your name.
It was a show.
It was a show.
I was on the list.
Oh, you got on the show.
So,
wow.
So at the
their comedians listening to this are like, wait a minute. She's never done comedy before. She got on a show at Broadway. Like, because like they could be they put you through hell. They make you do bringer shows and all that.
I knew the promoters. I was their engineer. So when I worked at
okay, all right, yeah, you had the connections.
I was the audio engineer for many shows for many years. So a lot of people know me. So they know that I'm funny. And then when I started playing with it a little bit, they kept their eye out.
So they was like, a wardrobe malfunction during a show.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So with that being said, I had the next things that was happening, I want to say in 2019. You asked me to do your show, I think in April, right? Was it in April or May? It was something like it was your 10th anniversary, right? Your 10th year.
Hold on, I got you. That was this. Hold on. I have it right here. Bam.
Right. It was 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Comedy roast in Kenilworth. Yeah, you were one of like 10 comedians who roasted me. Yes.
And so what happened with that to me was that you always challenged to hear me do comedy. And you will always say that. You'll be like, I'll never see you. I never see you in none of the rooms, Rema. You ain't. And I kept saying, I'm gonna come. And you was like, yo, do my show. And I'm like, all right, I'll do
I told you to come out here to Jersey. Let's write stuff. Come to some mics. And you never came. Yeah.
So I did. And
everybody thinks they're funny. Like everybody thinks they're funny, like talking to people and shit. But going on stage and all that
is a whole different
it's a whole new monster. Yep.
So I had so after that, I didn't do any comedy for a couple of months. So here we go again. Come November, later that year, a friend of mine had asked if I can do his Your Mama Jokes, a comedy show dedicated yearly to his mom that passed away. And the date that he wanted me to do it, his mom passed away like a year prior. So he did like a fundraising comedy show.
Oh, this is just regular show. You weren't talking about his mother.
Right. Not talking about his mother.
It wasn't a dozen.
Called Your Mama Jokes. That's
wow, I was like, wow, that's pretty ballsy to like have comedians talk shit about your mom who just died.
Right.
Because when you say Your Mama Jokes, I'm thinking like, oh, your mama's so fat, like stuff like that. I'm like, damn, and the mom just died.
Right. So the proceeds went to like a good cause and blase and the third. So every year he sends it to a different cause. So when he asked me to do it, I told him, I was like, I don't think I want to do it. And I told him yes. And it was on my son's birthday that year. So it was November 14th, 2019. Mind you, he only asked me because he seen me promoting the comedy show that I put together, the fundraiser, the Oh My God, That's Funny, Volume 1 with you and a few other comedians. So he said,
yep, that one. Go ahead.
He said, if you're doing that, then you should come in. And he wanted me to close. And I was like, that's the fundraiser right there. Oh my God, that's funny. The fundraiser. It was really great. It was.
I did horrible though. I remember that night. I did not get a lot of sleep, and I remember I looked at a picture I took there. I was like, holy shit. I didn't even get through it. I was good at first, and then I don't know, something, like I decided, I did the rule. I broke a rule in comedy that you usually do. You try new shit on a live audience that you didn't practice before, and I tried it, and it didn't go so well. I remember that show. I did like I was like 75%, but you don't want to do 75%. You want to do the whole 5 minutes, a solid 5 or a solid 7, and
Right.
you know, and you want to leave on your best joke. And that's one of the
Right.
things, man, as a comedian, leaving on your best joke, like, cause like you think you can go on, like you think you killed like half the set, and then you say, all right, I got these motherfuckers, and then you do that other joke, like, yeah, you got to be solid for the whole 7 minutes. And
Right.
if anything, have your first shit funny. You know, you can lag off in the middle, but your closer
Your
better be,
last shit,
yeah, your
yeah.
closer, yeah, yeah.
So
Go
I
ahead.
ended up I ended up doing his show.
Mm-hmm.
Also in 2019, pat on my back, I graduated with my BA in psychology.
Go
I did
ahead.
graduate. Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
did.
I usually
Thank
would
you
have
very much.
my little applause thing, but that shit ain't working. But
It's all right.
congratulations.
Their hand claps help me. It's all
Yeah.
right. So I graduated in 2019 with my BA in psychology. This year, I was accepted to Hunter for the organizational leadership program they have there.
Mm-hmm.
I applied and I was accepted. I did not go,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't start because I was starting to be involved in the community. So let's fast forward a little bit. When COVID hit, around the time COVID hit, so all of the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I hit comedy hard. When I say hard, I mean it was amazing that I only did open mics before January 31st.
Mm-hmm.
After January 31st, between January 1st, I mean, up until December 31st, after January 1st, moving into about March, right before they closed the city down, I was on about 15 shows. I was on everybody's flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had about 3 shows out of that 15 that I did myself as an open mic in my location. So I wasn't at nobody open mic. I made my own. And I was on shows because people thought I was funny. And
Cool.
it felt good.
Cool.
So
Cool.
when COVID hit, everything went virtual. Now, for those
Yeah.
that don't follow me or don't know me, I always do virtual comedy. This is what I do at home. I'm always live. I'm always
Yeah. You
talking
are.
shit,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
was
Yep.
funny in
Yep.
those moments. So I didn't feel like taking 5 minutes to do a comedy show for your fans and your followers. And you're not you, Jay. I'm just saying, for the promoters,
I
and you
feel the
only got
same
like
way. Yeah.
20 people in your room where I
Yeah.
have an audience of 15,000 on Instagram and plus amount of people on Facebook. So for the first 2 months of going live and talking, I didn't have anything funny to talk about anymore. So I
Mm-hmm.
just started like going into this like motivational kind of movement, you know? And then I got really in tune with my community. And then I started doing community work more often. So we delivered food 3 times a week to seniors and disabled people in my neighborhood. And then as I got further into it, I was like, you know what? I want to be a part of this neighborhood, but I want to be a part of the change that happens. So I started going into like a political route. And now I'm looking to go back to school for like public policy.
Oh. So now you're madam, your mother Trixie.
Madam President.
No, mother, like mother never.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So that's the
All right,
story.
you like answer like 3 of my questions is good. So you have a bachelor's degree in psychology, right? For the College of New Rochelle.
Yes.
What did you learn about people after your studies? What did you learn about humans that you didn't know before?
So I went to school not because I wanted to learn about what I kind of I want to say it like this. I went to school because I felt like I wanted to learn the proper terminology for things that we say. I felt like I wanted to be able to walk in a room and be able to talk a language that was understood universally versus just having ebonics on my belt. So I went to school so I could learn how to speak a different language in English.
Hmm.
Um, I already had learned what case studies were because of my escort days. I used to do a lot of like therapy sessions and I didn't realize it. A lot of my sessions was not just sexual, it was really conversational. And a lot of people would just buy my time to talk to me. Um, I was always the friend that people came to talk to. I've always had like this therapeutic kind of
So you did like
sense
a
of
Tony Robbins. It was like a Tony Robbins kind of thing.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Now I am even more because I stepped in alignment of it. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And I didn't realize what the calling was specifically, but I knew it had something to do with psychology. And I wanted to learn more about the mind and how it works. Like, why do people think or do the way, do the things they do? Possibly even to like eradicate generational, I don't want to say generational curses, but generational habits. You know what I mean? Like, let's start talking about breaking chains of generational habits. Like, what makes you think that everything is the way you think it should be? Like, why you think things are supposed to be hard when things can actually be easy? Life don't have to be hard. People think that it's supposed to be hard because that's how you think you're supposed to go through some shit so you can receive some shit. And it's not true all the time. You know what I mean?
Perspective, yeah. Perspective. Okay. All right. Hold on. Yeah, you talked about all this shit we talked about. So my show is kind of political. We also get into religions. Let's go politics. So are you versed more in politics now, or have you been studying? Have you been
I
keeping
have
up with
not.
it? No.
I have not. I decided
Did you vote?
I knew you would probably go here.
Did you
So
vote?
I'm gonna say the most smartest, stupidest shit I've ever said in my life right here on your show.
Smartest, stupidest shit. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I want to hear this.
Yes, I do have an opinion, a political opinion, but I'm not well read on it. I just felt a vibe, and that's how I went with the vibe.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
Did you vote?
me and you had conversations on my wall about
Yeah.
Trump. I've asked people to just look into just trying to find something great he did or good he's done for the black people in 4 years.
And boy,
Because
did
I
they
knew he
chew
was
you.
coming.
You got chewed out, right? Like some black folks did, right? Yeah. Yeah. Trump is
So I
toxic. Trump is toxic.
but I get it. Personally, I don't mind saying it. I didn't vote. People could be mad at me, talk to me about it in my inbox, and we talk about why. But I didn't vote. I didn't see I knew he wasn't gonna win again. Although I don't think I was rooting for him to win again either. I just felt like I know the asshole that was here already. I don't know the new asshole that is coming. So I don't, I guess that's how my opinion was. As far as being able to debate and argue different policies and etc., I really didn't go on that. That wasn't what my vibe was. My vibe was
Mhm.
the fact that we always asking for somebody to keep it real. The man is like, even though he's loopy. We all know that, but he kept it real. Like, to me, this
He
is the
lies.
vibe.
I
This is the
mean,
vibe to me.
I
That's
I
why I said
mean, he lies a lot. I know what you mean. A lot of people say he keeps it real, meaning that he speaks without
freely.
a
He
filter.
just
Yeah,
just straight out of his
he has
fucking
no
mouth the
fil-
way he
He
was.
has no
No,
filter. He
no
has no
political
filter.
nothing.
Yeah, he
He
has
just
no
we got
filter.
a celebrity as a
Yeah,
president. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I get it, but I wouldn't have wanted him back in. Although I don't know too much about what we got to look forward to the Biden.
Did
I
you
wasn't
vote for
really.
anybody? You didn't vote at all. You did so because there's more than the president running, right? You got city council people.
I know, I know.
You got mayors and all that. You didn't vote for any of that.
I didn't do homework on nobody to vote for anybody. To be honest with
Okay.
you, I wish I had done more work on them. As far as really looking to it, especially since I'm playing around with politics now, not
Yeah.
playing around, get my feet wet with certain things. That's why I said when I go back to school, I probably will go back to school for public policy for my master's versus anything else because I do want it. I want the education of that. So I want to be able to study that on my own as well. I'm interested in it. I just haven't gotten there yet to do it. So that's why
Yeah.
I say it's probably the smartest, stupidest thing I'd say because
I
I know I'm going to look into it later.
I'm not, you're not like one of those people who say don't vote because, they're bad and it's, what are they going to
Right.
do? Because those people, I tell them like, well, you think not voting is going to make it better? Like they're not just going to disappear because you don't vote. There's going to be somebody else,
Right.
probably worse. But
Right.
you're saying you weren't well versed on who's running or why I should vote for them. So I can understand that. I mean, I don't think you need to be to do it. I mean, the two political parties are like they could some of them are similar, but they're really night and day. Like a lot of their policies are night and day. Like one party wants to be more humanitarian towards black people, Hispanics, stuff like that, and the other party white allegory. I can't even say the word. Allegory. Oligarchy, white oligarchy. Now I said it. White oligarchy, more white oligarchy. Uh, you ever read Iron Rand?
I've heard.
Iron Rand had basically philosophy of trickle down. Basically, she had a book called Atlas Shrugged, where the rich people went away. I think they just went away. I haven't read in a while. They went away. Something happened to them, and the poor people just went and lost it. They pretty much did not know what to do with the rich people guiding them and their money. It was a fantasy book because it's basically saying we can't function without rich people pouring down their blessings towards us.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Bullshit.
kind. Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, but a lot of people think that way. They think that you know wealth trickles down to like poor people. That's in capital. That's how capitalism's going to work. Capitalism only works for certain things, but then we also have to be more socialistic on certain things. And but socialism is a bad word to a lot of people because what they do, which is pretty genius, they take a word that somebody else used before and made it, and that was negative. So the Nazis were socialists. It was called the Socialist Party and all that stuff, but it had nothing to do with the system that's going on now. So they make socialism a bad word, and they also can't tell the difference between socialism and communism and fascism and all that. They try to blend those things into one thing. But you didn't come here for a political lesson. All right, fair enough. So I see religion. You took up religion. You didn't mention that. You took up religion. How does your religion shape you?
So I didn't take up religion. Hold on one second.
You already had it.
Okay. Um, I didn't take up
Okay.
religion. Yeah, I had to yell at my kids real quick.
I know. I know. I've seen the
Um,
videos of your kid. They can be quite. Yeah. I've seen.
no, not at all. Not at all. Mommy's on
Mm,
live. Just calm. No, you don't. All right.
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Anyway, um, I didn't take up religion. I think I became more in tune with being spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, since I think I've always been spiritual. I just never really paid attention to it.
You froze. Rema, you're frozen.
Hello?
You're
I'm here. I'm
frozen.
here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Somebody try to call in.
Oh, okay.
People say that they have and they probably would try to call in again one more time, but
Yeah.
I'll delete it. People say that they have like different kind of relationships with the omnipresent.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the people that has said that
Mm-hmm.
prior to losing my son. Shortly after coming out of all of the things that I've gone through after that, I became very aware of my particular situation with God Himself, and how I feel about Him. And honestly speaking, I didn't realize how much I relied on just basic faith when it comes down to my life. So I live in a faith place mentally. I have faith without sight, without seeing. I don't have to see that this omnipresent is real. I just feel it is.
I know that's
And that's
faith.
just
Yeah.
how I move, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Faith. Yeah. Okay. What do you see like? So, what do you see God as?
Hmm.
I know I'm
As a
doing
parent,
doing my Mike Tyson thing. Like
I got you.
we
I
get real
see God
deep
as
for
a
no
parent.
reason.
I see God as a parent. I see him, she, it as a parent. So that's
Hmm.
my vision and how I visualize God. I visualize God as a parent, like we're all children, God's children. I guess that's what we were all told and taught. But when I think about it, I think about how I am with my children and how I either discipline or how I reward and et cetera, et cetera. And I mimic that behavior and how I give or do. I feel like also a lot of the stuff that we do, we're meant to really just be here for each other, and as siblings, that's how you're supposed to be. We're supposed to be here. If I have, you have. You know what I'm saying? If I love you. You should love me back. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the messed up part about us as people is the fact that we don't know how to really love because we weren't taught it, and we don't know how to love ourselves because we don't know how to give love unconditionally. we don't believe in it. For you to wake up and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna give all this love out all day today. I'm gonna smile at every person I see. I'm gonna just say hi, how you doing, make them feel good. And I realized that I have a really nice face, right? And why not use this face to
You're
go
so
and smile
modest.
at somebody and be like, hi, how you doing today? Oh my God, look at you. And just uplift people. So I feel like that's what we're supposed to do as quote unquote siblings and family. When we in the street, we should be uplifting each other. And for those that are not understanding what I mean by that, because they don't get that support, welcome support in your life. Welcome somebody to be there and that wants to help or assist you. A lot of times we don't welcome that too well either. Welcome a compliment.
Hmm.
Somebody say that you look nice today. Say thank you. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Don't say, well, in this old thing, or give something else. Just we don't know how to take what we supposed to have. We take all the bullshit that we shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? If somebody look at you too long, you want to curse them out instead of realizing that their eyes is on you and have an engaging conversation. Hey, hi. I do shit like that. Somebody look at me too long, I go, hi, how are you? Because I don't know why they're looking at me and I don't want to assume the negative part.
What's the negative?
Negative is that they want to fight or something. People get touchy about
What's
being
that?
stared at.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I don't
Okay.
I don't really get touchy. I think I'm pretty. I think people gonna look. I do my hair colors. People gonna look. And
Yeah.
as they give me a compliment, I give them one back. They might be busted. It doesn't even matter you busted. You alive. I'm just gonna tell you because you alive, you're awesome. And you always gonna be great. That's it. Even
Yeah,
if their
that
assholes
makes
right now.
impacts on people. Yeah, that makes a lot of impacts on people. Just being positive. I was thinking, like, as I was writing the question down, I put two things here, which probably why me and you have clashed before, because we have two very different personalities. Uh, you're very outgoing. You talk to people a lot, and you bring. I'm not. I'm very introverted. I'm very rational. I'm like in my head all the time. I'm in my own head. I'm in my brain a lot, and sometimes it comes off as me just, being, what's the word? Standoffish maybe. But I'm not. Some people think I'm meaner than I am. I'm not. I'm just like all in my head all the time. So I have two words here:
I
is
think you're
emotional versus
curious.
rational. Emotional versus rational. You can be very emotional. You've shown it to me. You can be very emotional. You bring in emotion. You give out emotion. Um, I'm very rational. I'm a very rational type person. I'm a big fan of science, logic, taking things step by step, putting things together, stuff like that. Now, despite me being an artist, which kind of also, but that's my out. I'm an artist too. I do comedy. I do visual arts, video, and all that shit. So that's my out. I think that's maybe where our worlds meet at, the artistic sides of us.
Yes.
Go ahead. What was you going to say about me? Go ahead. Give me my psychological evaluation, please.
I think that you're just very curious.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our misunderstandings is curiosity because of how other people think. I think that is
Mhm.
something that really um how can I put it, really maybe even a trigger, you know what I'm saying, of some sort, that how other people think. So it's like, wow, you think like that? And it took me a while to get that from you until I think I recently started posting certain things and you would ask a question versus actually make a statement on it. And then I was able to answer your question because I started understanding he's curious. I have conversations quite often with people that don't understand why I do things I do or say things I say personally.
Mhm.
And I say, ask me and I'll tell you because you're curious. I think
Mhm.
you become very curious because you are an introvert. You don't think the way we think as extroverts. You don't think the
Mhm.
same way. So it's like, what makes you think like that? And you want to ask the question that way, but it sounds cold maybe at
Mhm.
times, or it
Yeah. It
sounds
could
like
be
it can be
cynical,
taken long.
cynical and
Right.
sarcastic. Yeah.
But it's not. You're
Yeah.
literally like, I read this, you're my friend. I'm
Yeah.
asking you a question.
Yeah.
And on your show, I want to apologize that it took so long for me to get it. We've been friends or associates, however you choose, for quite some time now. And I've always misunderstood it. Always.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
always my emotional with your rational. And you're
Mm,
absolutely right. But now as I readjust and reevaluate it, the last couple of times you responded to me has been a question. And I'm like, oh, that's just Jay. I bet. Look, let me just answer it because
mm,
I want you to be I was gonna say something wrong, but I want you to be in my head. Like I want you to
mm.
be there. I would like to like level with you at some point. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Okay.
I feel like after I answer it with an answer, not an emotional answer, but with something that really, whatever it is
Yeah.
in that moment, you get it, and that's it. Like you're fine with that. You
I can
know?
understand emotion. Trust me, I can. I One thing I learned about, like, especially in my like with in my studies of religion, it comes from a place. That's why I'm not. I've never one of been those people that I was at one point, maybe at one point, but now I'm more understanding of people and their philosophies and their religion and stuff like that because I know where it comes from. You know, where it comes from is important. We all come from a certain place where our parents are from, where our country is from, and that makes us believe and see things the way we do. So I understand all that, and it's very hard. And I tried when I first, started looking into it. I tried to like get people to, oh, come on, don't you know the church did this? Don't you know what they did to black people? And why are you worshiping Jesus? This is They brought the Bible with slavery and all this stuff, and slavery is endorsed by the Bible and all, and you push that into people's head. And one thing they do is, as a person with their back to the wall or a cat, what do? They scratch,
Right.
they bite,
Right. Right. They
because
fight
they
back.
got, yeah, you got their back to the wall. Yeah, they ain't got nowhere else to go. Like once you corn them in logic, what they do,
Right.
they'll either fold or the fight or flight, and the fight comes in. So that's one thing I learned. Like it's basically you can catch more bees with honey than you can with vinegar, kind of thing. Uh,
Right.
and I also want a fan base. I wanted a fan base. I don't want to just challenge everybody. I want to hear them. I want to see where they think. And there is a place where we can all meet up. There is a place. I'm a humanist. I think we can all, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or Jew, or Hindu, or whatever, we all want something from life. We all want family. We all
Correct.
want wealth. We all want, health, all that stuff. We all want that. So there's a commonality we can build upon.
I
Uh,
agree.
yeah. So let's talk relationships. So are you single now?
I am
Do
not.
you want to get married? Oh, you're not single. You're not single. Oh,
I'm not single.
oh, okay. Do you looking to push it to the next level?
I'm taking it slow. I mingle honestly. I'm seeing one person, but I have like prospects, I guess. I was single for a while, so I still had people that still contact me while I was
Mm,
single. And I'm like, well, I'm with someone. Let me see how this works out. Give
hmm.
me a little while to try to adjust, and if this works out, then this is where I'm gonna be at. Honestly speaking, the person I'm with now, I like him, and I enjoy the time we spend. As far as the previous person I was dealing with, they were scared to take things to the next level. And I don't want no fear in my relationship. I want to be open and free to be myself, and I want the person to be themselves too. So that's what I get in this relationship here.
Do you feel like this, like, because you're obviously a voluptuous, beautiful woman, stuff like that. Do you think that, like, even with comedy or even your radio, all that stuff, you think it's like getting out of a ticket when you get pulled over, you like, oh, sorry, officer, I didn't know I was going that fast. Like, is it that kind of, do you ever think, like, if you didn't have those or the beauty and all and the
So
sex behind it, where would it be, or if it would even
it's
be there?
it's super hard to date when you are a symbol of such wonders. It's super hard to try to really merge with somebody that looks at you versus look at your size and just be turned on by your size, especially when you have plans on not being this size for too long. I don't think this, whatever I do, I'm probably going to always have boobs. So But in my mind, it's like, what happens when I change? Are you still going to love the fat, or are you going to love the Rema? And a lot of
Mm.
people, they get stuck in the fat era. And I could tell when they're stuck in the fat because I have history of exploiting my fat. You understand me? I have history of dealing with men that only wanted me because I was plus size. And honestly speaking, that's how I got most of my money, because I knew the conversation. So it's a certain kind of conversation. And once I hear it, it's check time. So it's like, it starts off with like, you're pretty. Oh, I love you.
Mm.
You're the right size. You're the right size. You're the right size. And a lot of single men yell that out to me. And in my mind now is different than it was when I was hustling, but it still kind of ticks something. It triggers something. And when I hear somebody say, you're the right size, you're perfect size, you're not looking at my brain. You don't care what I'm going to say out of my mouth. So right now, you're only in tune to me smiling at you.
But
So
isn't
I can
that
sit in front of you, smile
I can?
at you,
But here's
and
my.
you're going to pay
But
all my bills.
I always see there. Okay, in your mind, we want it, but that's what I'm saying. Doesn't that get you in the door? Didn't that get you in the door? I mean, we are physical beings. Like, I don't know how handsome I am. I'm pretty sure some people thought I was handsome, and that led to another conversation from point A to B. There's something that's got to lead you into the next door, to the next level. I don't think we should forsake that. You know what I mean?
So I get being physically attracted, right? Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
physically attracted to somebody. I am physically, sexually, a magnet to many people. But at the same time, I have
It's a
to
pain, ain't
weed.
it?
I have to weed through that. I have to see past what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then they're talking to somebody that is just pretty right now, right? So a lot of people that meet me right now, they
Mm-hmm.
don't know about Trixie, and they don't know about the degree.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to understand, I don't only have street smarts, I have book smarts when it comes down to certain kind of conversations. And I
Mm-hmm.
learned game, general ability to manipulate everyone and everything from the past things that I've done. So when I sit here and I
General
talk to
ability to
somebody,
manipulate everyone. All right,
everything.
that's
When
a
I sit
bar,
here
right?
and I have a
That's a bar.
conversation with someone, it is. When I sit here and have a conversation with someone and they start using certain language, I instantly know exactly what they're talking about. And I snap into either, I don't really want to deal with you, or, you know what, I'm in need of. Because I will hit somebody quick. You know what I'm in need of? Because all they
Mm.
want to do is see me smile. A lot of people just want to be under me and see me smile. They want to sniff me and shit, see if I smell good and shit, weird shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, they really don't want nothing. They just want to be under me. They call
Mm.
me and just, I smile
Mm.
at them. I'm just gonna put money in your cash cap. All right, good. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. You know what? Since I got my new job, I've been trying to be more generous. People, some people's birthday, like since my birthday, I've been saying happy birthday to everybody on my Facebook. I'm
That's
learning
dope.
people's birthdays, stuff like that. It's just something I do. It's been a ritual I've been doing, because I looked at my birthday, it's like, wow, these people. One year I was like, oh God, would y'all stop? All right, fine, it's my birthday. Like that's how I was, like, on Facebook. And like now I was like, oh man, all these people took the time out, say happy birthday. You know, it doesn't take much, And I used to be like,
Right.
and I used to be that dude, be like, you say happy birthday to somebody, and then you see they read it, and they didn't say nothing back. Like, oh, this bitch, you motherfucker,
Right.
you motherfucker, you saw that I said happy birthday. Nothing, really, really. Is that
Not a thing.
Yeah. So even sometimes when I have nothing to do, I look at my old birthday posts and I see who I didn't respond back to. I try to, like, on my birthday, man, and I got 5,000 friends. I try to respond, but I don't get 5,000 happy birthday. That would be impossible. But I get at least about 200. I try even throughout the day. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I was in Vegas. I was in fucking Vegas on the trip. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like,
On Facebook
I
saying
try.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you.
yeah, man, because people take the time out, and
You
I
gotta
always,
you gotta do you gotta do that when you're taking a shit. You gotta
oh
like
yeah,
get on Facebook to say
yeah,
thank you when you're taking a shit and on
oh
your
yeah,
birthday. Because
yeah,
you're gonna shit on
yeah.
your birthday. So you
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
thank
yeah,
you, thank you. So you don't stop partying.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't partying. It was just, overwhelming. I remember you was talking about this. You were rallying against the whole BBW and the label and all that. You were rallying against that, and it kind of makes sense now what you're saying. You see the big boobs, you see the past, the Trixie and all that shit, you know. So I get what you're saying. Like the guy comes at you a certain way, and all right, ka-ching. Like, yeah, I get that. Like, do you still feel that way? Do you still feel like the label that you don't like the label, you don't like all that shit, you know?
It's it's very convenient to
Hmm.
say BBW when you're promoting something. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people do black business and black this, black that when they're promoting something. It's just out of convenience. I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily think that you actually care to use those terms unless you need to sell it. I have used BBW probably like 3 or 4 times in a
No, I don't
year.
mean just the word. I mean the whole fetish thing. I remember you
I'm
was like,
explaining.
yeah,
I've
okay,
only
okay,
used it because I knew what it would attract.
yeah,
I want more people to see this. I want those type of men to see it. Who is looking up BBW? BBW, the acronym Big Beautiful Women, is only used, really used in the porn industry. It's not used in the plus size industry. There's an above ground, a below ground. The above ground say
yeah.
plus size. They
If
say
you put
plus size
BBW in
fashion.
Google, you're gonna get porn.
You say plus size fashion, you say
Yeah,
plus size this, plus
yeah,
size positive,
yeah,
plus size, all that.
yeah,
But you look up BBW.
yeah,
BBW is a porn term. It's not necessarily. You can't put plus size in the Pornhub.
yeah,
you
yeah.
you'll come up with like a
You
plus
know what?
size
You're
female or
right.
some
You're
shit. You
right. You're
can't. You
right.
put
You're right.
BBW and everything comes up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, I didn't care to have the. And again, like I told you, for a very long time, I hated the Trixie everything. When I became Raido Rema, I had left Trixie thing alone. So everybody's coming at me. Oh, you a pretty BBW. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me about BBW nothing. I don't want to hear it. Like the fuck you mean? Like it was just it was really tough on me.
Mm-hmm.
So just recently what I discovered about myself was that as I did the stint of being Raido Rema and covering myself up and trying not to be as glamorous or as sexy for almost about 3-4 years, I had actually gained more weight. I had stopped really loving self, stopped loving body, stopped loving everything because I started loathing it. I was really upset at myself for being the size that I was and is right now because of what I was attracting, but I wasn't doing anything about the size. I would just cover it up. And I'll be like, don't look at me. Don't look at
Mm-hmm.
me. And I'll cover up because I'll do a lot of selfies and shit. And then I was like, you know what? When I was loving on my body, when I was out here really showing off a little bit, I probably was eating the same way. I don't know the difference. So it's like it's a difference of how I love me. So if I love me, it doesn't matter what size I am. Just love me. You know what I mean? And what I'm attracting, if I continue to show and work on myself, I will only attract people that are strong enough to stand next to somebody that's working on themselves versus attracting all kind of bullshit. So what I noticed was that I'm paying more attention to me attracting garbage because I'm treating myself like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So once I started just loving up on me some, I was able to attract more love and give more love out to those that really need it. So a lot of people know not to come at me any kind of way because I love me. It's different. Sometimes people will try it. They think that a lot of plus size women has low self-esteem. My self-esteem wasn't low because I was plus size. My self-esteem was shot because I didn't want to be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's a weird scenario. But they think a lot of plus size women are desperate, low self-esteem, take quick dollars, all kind of shit. And even when I was fucking for money, and I'm gonna keep it on it, you couldn't send me $40 and do shit. I wasn't even getting on the camera for $40. You did hear 15 minutes for 50, right? So when I think about these things, it's funny to me when I talk and have these conversations. They were like,
Yeah,
well, what you real pretty, you this, you that. And I'm like, all right, and I know this. Thank you. But
yeah,
I also do this, and the third. When you show somebody you have a brain behind all of this, they don't want to talk to you. It's
yeah.
like there's too much to handle because I can't trick her. I can't do the things I could do with a regular plus size female. It's weird.
My so when I first started, when I just first found out about the whole plus size thing, I thought it was a great thing. I thought because normally even the attraction to like a woman of plus size was like a taboo,
Right.
maybe like 20, 30 years ago. Like you
BBW
get
was fetish.
you get laughed at by your friends if you even, went out with a girl that I'm not saying it ain't like your baby
No, you're
mama.
right. In the
Yeah.
90s, it was a fetish. It was something that
Yeah, it
you
was a
really didn't
fetish.
see.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something that people were
Yeah,
ashamed
it'd
to
be
do
different if your baby mama got bigger as she got,
after,
pregnant.
right?
Yeah, yeah. But if you go after them big already, like, yeah, that was a fetish back then.
And
So
now
yeah,
it's
now
no longer a fetish.
it's no longer.
Although, if you ask me, it's still a fetish.
Yeah, it's a
It's
fetish.
just done
Yeah.
above ground.
Yeah, it's just done. It's done more. Well, thanks to the internet, a lot of stuff that were fetishes are now above ground. Even like you can go from BBW to gay to people like feet, all that shit. A
It's
lot of
regular
people.
now.
Yeah, it's regular. A lot of people because it's easy to hook up now. It's easier to meet people
Right.
via internet, social media, stuff like that. Who have your
Yups.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have your similar interests. So
Right.
when I first discovered it back in the day, like 2000 something, I was like, wow, this is great. This is great. Like people having fun, guys who are into it, and women who can now go to a place where guys can appreciate their size or their beauty and stuff like that. Because if you had a right, like if you go to that same club, like they'd be the only one there, and it's kind of like, oh, this guy here, and you as the women plus size, like, oh, this guy has a fetish because all these women in here, like it's kind of weird because so that happens too. Um,
But here's the thing that I noticed about that too. Whenever a plus size woman like myself, and this has happened to me before, starts talking about getting her size together, getting herself together, blase
mm,
and a third, a lot of guys
mm,
come on and be like, but we love you the way you are, and
oh
you shouldn't do
yeah,
that, and don't
yeah,
lose too much weight. And I'm like,
yeah,
what plus size women do not say is what you should really focus on. The part that we need the most support in is about our health, and a lot of people don't talk about that. It's
yeah.
about us. I tell people in jokes, but it's real. Sit on the toilet and my feet fall asleep. I'm not happy with that. You know what I'm saying?
I do
Trying to
too.
well, then you gotta do something, motherfucker. You gotta do
No,
something.
that
Look,
just means you're just like sitting on it for a long time. The circulation goes.
listen.
How long we talking? Like 5 minutes, something like
We're not
that.
talking that long. We're talking about this just happens. You know what I mean?
How long?
How
Like
about
five
women?
minutes?
Look, maybe 5 minutes, maybe
Oh,
five,
okay,
ten
yeah,
minutes. Just
yeah,
sit in it.
yeah. It
But
take me a while. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, a lot of times women aren't talking about their health issues of
Mm-hmm.
being a plus size woman, how some women can't walk a whole block without stopping to take a breath or catch their breath. Although they're in all these pictures and they're looking beautiful and they're looking nice, but your heart is taking that. You know what I mean? Your body is
Yeah,
not working the same
yeah,
way.
yeah,
The way you're eating is not healthy. You're not
yeah.
treating your body well. Personally, I've battled with my weight over this last year, as it being the only freaking addiction or thing that I have not stopped doing. I've been sober since 2018. Um, I think the beginning of 2018 was the last time I did any of my drug that I was on.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2019, I want to say 2000 in the 2018, I quit cigarettes. In 2019, I had about maybe 3 drinks, and that was like really small. Since this year has come, I've taken like maybe 2 or 3 shots, but not like a whole shot, just like
I
little
agree. I
taste on
agree.
my tongue.
I haven't smoked weed in almost 2 years because I had a freaking panic attack the last time I did it. So how panic attack works is the triggers a panic attack. So I'm thinking if I put something in my mouth, and that goes for a weed or that was black and milds too. I haven't had black and mild. Those are the only things I really smoke, like black and milds. I never really smoked cigarettes. Never got into it with black and milds. And I figured it. So I haven't had those in a long time. I don't never was never really a drinker. I was never big on drinking. I don't like the idea of being drunk. I don't like the idea like that's like I said. I am an introvert.
Right.
You are different.
Those
You
are
want to,
social. Those are
yeah,
social things.
yeah. You
Yeah.
want you like to have people, like a network. I don't like the idea of needing help from people. That's just
Right.
been me. That's just been me. And if you're drunk, you're gonna need help from people, or they're
Right.
gonna, or if you don't get the help, you're gonna be hurt. Something's gonna happen to you. I've had nightmares times I was drunk. I don't like being drunk. I mean drunk to the point where I can't do nothing myself, or I can't.
Blackout drunk. all
black out
kind of
or
drunk.
just
Yes,
can't
yes.
function. I'd have to be with some, and that rarely happens. I'm around people I trust like that. So you have to be around
Right.
people you
So
trust.
then just
Yeah.
nip the whole thing. For
Yeah.
me, being sober actually helped out more than anything else because I get to consciously fuck people. What and I
What?
I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Listen,
No, you right. You have to
like
be. You have to
I
be sober to
realized.
fuck now. You know that, right? Because
So look,
you risk a date rape like that. That's the rape. You could risk a rape, and
listen,
the one person
but
get up and the
look,
next morning and say, I didn't want to do that. Go ahead.
for me, I used to sleep with people 2 times because I didn't remember the first time. So I would do it again and then be mad because in my head the first time was great. So now that but really being sober, also G shit, being sober helped a lot with, like I said, making conscious decisions and being able to make them with clear mind and not have a lot of regret. I live my life with a very minimal regret status. Like there's not a lot of things that I regret doing nowadays. And there's a lot of things that I'm able to just watch my actions, be aware of it, be aware of what I'm saying,
Yeah.
pay attention to like what I'm who I'm around, what I'm doing, things of that
Yeah.
nature. Does this
Yeah.
align with what I want in my life? Does this, is this not like, so those are like questions I ask myself. And you can't ask yourself that stuff if drinking or intoxicated a lot. You
Yeah.
gotta like chill and just like,
I
let me
know.
get my shit together.
That's what I was saying. Like I said, stop drinking, stop smoking. Like you said, food. Like that's our America's greatest addiction. Because for one, it's not taboo. Like cigarettes and sex and all that. Food is everywhere. Food is everywhere. It's restaurants. It's put in your face constantly, and it's not healthy. The worst foods are the worst ingredients, and like that stuff, and like it kills us. It's killing us, killing black people. It's the cause of so many of our diseases and misfunctions. So yeah, I
Spoke
feel
about it,
you on it.
Jay.
Yeah, I feel you. I've struggled with my weight. Like the good
Right.
thing about me is I'm active. I almost always have to walk up. My job is 3 flights of stairs, and my home is 3 flights of stairs. So I have constantly walking. I'm constantly out. So the good thing I would say anybody who's struggling with their health, the first thing is get your heart right. Your heart probably is your most important thing. Your cardio. Like you could be big. The problem is a lot of people who are big, if their heart ain't good, it ain't pumping the blood through their body, and that's what's going to cause all the problems. So you can be big. I mean, do cardio. Make sure your heart's good first, and then you can work on the other stuff. But if your heart ain't good, yeah, you're gonna have problems. Yeah. But
Right.
that's been my struggle too. I you see, I have a little bit of gut errors. I was actually watching my old comedy video. Do you tape your comedy? Do you tape
I
it?
do.
You
I
do?
do. I do.
Yes. Get you a camera, tape your shit. I was watching a whole bunch of my stuff, looking how fat I was. Like, oh my god, like I was like fatter than this, or
I
maybe I'm the same fat, or I'm just looking at it through a different lens. I don't know, but
No, you're fat. We fat. That's it. I pay attention to like the old pictures and then the new pictures, and then it's like, girl. So like I said, it came a lot with the self-love part. Like me not really paying attention, and then me also craving companionship. What I realized is that when I was on the drugs and such, I was just craving companionship, and the drugs became that companionship. Being single, and even though his father's still alive, I've gone through this grieving phase by myself, and I didn't have companionship. I had my children, I had to be strong for them. I had friends and family that was looking at me, I had to be strong for them. This is what's in my head, not necessarily true. And me having to have all of that on my weight, like I didn't need, I wanted someone there to be with me, and I didn't have no one. So the drugs was my best friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, everything you
mm,
think. It was their mother, father,
mm,
and for a long time I didn't realize it was a companionship and abandonment issues I had. I did get therapy, I did go sit down, talk to someone over the time or whatever after I got sick. And that's when I started discovering a little bit more about what I've been putting out and why I am the way I am when it comes down to relationships and men and such. I have had a very big revolving door. Like even after stopping escorting and all that stuff, I had a revolving door where I had like a lineup. You know what I'm saying? And it's not healthy or safe. It just was because of the companionship that I craved or desired. But that comes from the abandonment that I felt as a child growing up. When you get to learn all of these things about yourself, you get to kind of see how you can start setting better habits. So instead of, like I said, instead of breaking generational curses, you're fixing generational habits that you
Mm.
already have. So that's kind of where I am now, where I am like looking at it like I love me, I love my size. If I love up on me some, I'm gonna lose the weight. And
Yeah, yeah.
honestly speaking, I lost 5 pounds since I decided to love me.
That's
And
good.
I,
That's good. I actually have to do my squats. My niece, I'm saying not my cousin's doing this 20 squats starting December and then add one until the end of the month. I'm
you know,
trying that.
squats make your butt bigger.
No, it
You get a
doesn't.
fat ass from squats.
No, it does. It tones it, if anything. No, it tones it. It tones your legs. What makes your butt bigger is the fat. Your gluteus maximus gets tighter. That's all. It doesn't make it big. It makes it tighter. That's all. You
Okay.
know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it'll work. Yeah. I don't care if my ass is tight. I don't care if I get a tight ass. It's the stomach I got to deal with. But so I want to end on two things. I want to end on
Okay.
when I met you, when I hung out with you the first time. I think we went out to see a movie, right? We went to see Noah, I think it was. Yeah, Noah. With Russell
No, it
Crowe.
wasn't. It couldn't have been Noah.
Yeah, it was. It was Noah with Russell Crowe. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm dead sure. I'm dead serious. It was Noah with Russell Crowe. Yeah. Yeah, it was that
Bet.
flick.
Bet.
And we went out a couple. I think we hung out a couple of times. And what I got from you was when I hung out with you was escorting at the time. I remember. Yeah, you were
Mm-hmm.
escorting, and you told me that you like we were sitting there talking, and he was like, "Oh man, I got another date." It was like something you don't tell a guy on a date is all right. I got another date in half an hour, even though I wasn't paying for it. We the funny thing, Rema, was I had no money when I hung out with you that night. Like I think I spent my last 20 something dollars getting to New York and going out and stuff like that. I
We went and ate, and we went to the movies, and you
Yeah,
took me back home.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I didn't have no
Yep.
money. I had a busted car. And I remember that night. I had to gather for that damn date. Like I remember going home. I was broke after that. Uh, and I remember, yeah, like I remember you said, "Oh man, I got another date. I'm an escort." And I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Well, damn." Like you know, like this is something you don't want to hear on a date. Like, well, okay. So at that point, I was like, you know what? She's a good girl. She's a good person and all that. Nice woman, but I didn't think like you weren't in the mindset of dating. Like I felt that way. Like you weren't in that mindset of just you know being with somebody hanging out and all. I was like, okay, but you were a great personality. You was great talking to. You was a friend.
Thank you.
You came to my events and all that stuff. So you're a friend. So let's end on this. So since you're a comedian, can we talk about first of all, how's your mom doing?
My mom is fine.
Can you please? I thought this story was so funny because everybody because everybody's okay now. Because since everybody is okay, can you please tell this story about what happened? Because like they need. Can you please? If you can, if you can't, that's fine. If you can't, that's
I would
fine.
tell it. I would
All
tell it.
right.
My mom has a boyfriend, and my mom and the boyfriend got into an argument. My
Mm,
mom goes outside, calls the police, then
mm,
runs back upstairs and notices that the boyfriend locks himself in the house. She's outside waiting for the police. She says to the police, "Hey, can y'all go to the window?" She's on the second floor of the building. "Can you go to the window? There's no gates, no bars. Go in there and pull him out." The police did not do what she asked them to do. Then all of a sudden, the house started smoking. They
mm,
started banging on the door, trying to get him out. House is set on fire.
mm,
The man went in the house and set the whole house, whole apartment, she lives in an apartment building, on fire,
mm.
including the cat.
Set the cat on fire.
The cat jumped out the window on
Mm.
fire. And the cat is more famous than anybody else because his name is Tomcat. So The whole week that my mom was with me, trying to figure out what's going on, everybody wanted to talk about Tomcat. If the cat could talk, poor cat. The cat is all right though. You know,
Yeah,
he has a
cats
patch
are.
on his body that's missing, but he's all right. I was like, yo,
Oh,
I can't imagine you set the cat on fire and the cat ran around the house and burnt everything. I don't know. And they said the cat jumped out the window to his arms. And then they did go in the window and they did get the guy out because there was nothing else to do. And the whole house was where it was.
mm.
So
So the
that's
whole
what happened.
apartment, whole apartment
Yes.
burned down. Yeah.
Yes. It's just
So basically the guy's thinking was, you can't have me, you can't have nothing, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. You gotta take me kicking and screaming kind of shit. Like
Uh,
I'm not no.
I'm taking everything and the cat. I'm burning it down. Yeah, he tried to
It's
set the
terrible. And
cat on fire.
the
God
worst part
damn.
was that everything, all old memories. My mom had that
Yeah.
apartment for about 24 years.
Yeah.
I think since 1997. So
Yeah.
we're like 23 years in. She had everything in that apartment. My sister and brother, it was a 3-bedroom apartment, still had things and belongings in the apartment. Everybody
Um,
lost everything. The crazy part is that all donations are only going to my mom and not going to my sister or brother. They had moved out like really shortly before that happened. I think they moved out in like September, and this
oh,
happened like the end of October. So
so their
between
stuff was still there.
August and
Yeah.
September, they moved out, and their stuff was still there. Their belongings and everything was in the house. So right now,
Yeah.
I'm assisting my sister with getting some of her belongings back. Just things that she really wanted. She's a chef. Like she likes to do like bakery. She's a I don't know, a baker, I want to say. She likes to like make like cake pops, and she had a cake pop business, and a lot of her
Baker. Yeah.
utensils got
That's a baker. Yeah.
baker, yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of her utensils got messed up in the fire. So I'm like steadily getting that for her. Um,
Mm.
my brother, a lot of his first things got messed up, like his daughter's like footprints, things like that. My mom, her whole thing got everything was in there. It was my mom. So I
Yeah.
was able to
My
get donations
dad's
for
the
her.
house I grew up in burned down. My father's one of those people. He's a pat rat. Let's say he's a pat rat. He kept a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's one of the people that if you see something on it, like remember Rock Emerson from the show Rock. He always come home with he was a garbage man. He always come home with the garbage stuff that he found on it. My dad was the same way. He finds stuff thrown away and bring it to the house like it's new. You would never buy nothing new. You would always bring stuff that other people thrown out. And when we all left, I was had my own apartment. My brother, I think, was somewhere else. He moved down south with my mother. I don't know. No. I don't know where my brother was, but my dad would have like 20 things plugged into one outlet. Really, he'd do that all the time, and that's probably how the fire started. Luckily, he made it out, but it was the house I grew up in. Like it's gone, like it's completely gone. Like, and that's it. It's not a person but it's still a thing that a part of you. Your
Right.
home,
Right. Your childhood.
your childhood,
Yeah.
your memories,
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
yeah, like some people can go back to their home they grew up in and like, just look at it, or even go inside and like, wow, remember we did this here. Yeah, that's all gone, and that kind of, yeah, it kind of it. I don't remember crying about it, but it was like, damn, it's gone. Like that's it. Like it's like a stepping stone in life. Like things go. Like even people. That it happens. And yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's nothing. Stuff like that when it goes, it kind of takes apart with you away.
Right.
Yeah, but the cat's okay, right?
The cat's okay. My mom's okay.
Did
So
they have video of the cat jumping out the? No.
dude, it was on Citizen app.
Really, I
So
gotta see this.
there might be video of the cat jumping out the window somewhere. I just haven't found it. I only seen the one video from Citizen app, but it's definitely on Citizen app.
No, the funny
It's
thing is,
there.
I shared a video of a cat. It was a cat and a dog, and the cat's tail. It was a candle behind the cat, and the dog is being and the cat just sitting there, and the cat's tail gets caught on fire, and the cat, like the dog's like fire, fire, and the cat's just like, yeah, and the fire just went out, and it's The cat does not even react to it, and the dog is like, "Holy shit!"
And the whole tail went on smoke.
Yeah, yeah. And the cat just looked at it like, "Oh, tail's on
I
fire."
gotta see this video.
Yeah, I'll tag you in it later. But anyway, guys, yeah, we did about a good hour, over a little bit over an hour. We all right. Yeah, you definitely could do a 2 hour show by yourself because
I always have.
yeah, yeah,
I all my shows was 2 hours long, so that's easy. I like to talk.
yeah. Nobody wants to hear me talk for 2 hours because I'll like after like hour and a half mark, I'm gonna be all like, I'm gonna be on some other shit. Like yeah, yeah. You don't want to hear me talk for 2 hours, guys. That's why I have my show here. I let my guests talk because you gotta listen. Like that's what you gotta learn. You gotta listen to people. If people have a story, you just gotta listen. You gotta ask the right questions. So
I
that's the
I
goal of
thank you
me.
so much. I
No
thank you for
problem.
having me on the
No
Yap
problem.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, another podcast.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for
enjoyed.
yapping with me. Thanks for
Yeah,
yapping.
I enjoyed this time we
Yeah.
spent. I really do appreciate you for that. I
No
I like the
problem.
show.
No problem. And thank you for being here. Thank you for doing my roast. Thank you for putting me on the show. Hopefully this COVID thing will be over soon. You're gonna take the vaccine, right? You're not one of those people, those anti-vaxxers.
I looked at my partner, my business partner, and I was like, you know what? Why the fuck not? Like at
Well,
this point,
you want a fucking business, you better, yeah, like,
you know,
yeah,
I feel
you
like
want
I feel
money.
like I feel like we gonna die anyway, right?
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen crazy. Aliens is coming, zombie apocalypse, some shit. Cause I ain't never seen nothing like this before. You know what I'm saying? And before I leave, I feel like just get down with the crew. If the shit is to fucking monitor us, how much shit are you doing that you don't need to be monitored, motherfucker? So whatever the case may be, let it go
Tell
ahead and
me,
be.
oh, they're gonna monitor. Bitch, you on Facebook? All your information's already there. What the like?
Can
I
you
don't
please
understand
say
these
that two
people.
times?
Why are you worried about being monitors and getting chips when you're on Facebook and you're putting your every thought up there every second of the day? Like, I don't get
Your
these
whole
people.
phone got your everything
Yeah,
because
everything.
you with your phone every day, all day.
Dude,
So for
I
me,
looked up my name. I Googled my name, all my information. Every like that's why I can't get into. That's why when I argue with people and I don't want to take it there because they can find out where I live at lickety split.
right,
You
right,
know. Now
right.
I would say like I saw this dude in Colorado. He was going back and forth like, "Where you? I'll come up whoop your ass." Like, dude, come on. Hey, here's my address. Like, motherfucker, I'm not flying all the way to fucking Denver to get into a fight with you. Are you kidding me? Like, stop
He
it.
was serious. He was
Yeah,
serious.
like stop it.
He was
Stop
serious.
it. Neither of us are going to get on a plane and fly 2,000 miles to get into a fight with somebody. Like, come on, man.
I actually traveled for a fight 3 hours away. I did.
That's 3 hours.
It's three
God,
hours though.
what
It
the
was
hell
a
that?
bus.
What did this person do?
We had a disagreement and I didn't like how they was acting. So I just got on the bus and went to their house and opened their door and walked in the house because I knew the passcode. And I walked in the house and I walked upstairs and I looked at everybody as I did it. And I went straight to the person. I said, "You want to fight or you want to fuck? What we doing?" And everybody started laughing. And then we was cool again for a little bit. But I got to get my point across because I'm gonna come see you. I just felt like I need to come see you. It was a female, but I felt like I needed to come see her at the time. Shit was looking crazy online. Shit looking crazy on the phone. We don't do that. I'll get on the bus. I don't mind getting on the bus. I'm coming to see you. And that's what I
Hmm.
did. I have a lot of crazy stories. Maybe we'll get into that another time. But
Yeah, another
anyway,
show, another show, another show.
before I leave, can I give
Yeah,
some people with my information?
yeah. I mean, well, first, is your mother still collecting? Is it still?
She's still collecting
Okay,
donations. I
give out that info.
So if there's anyone that have anything for her, her sizes and stuff is on my wall. I'll share it again. Maybe Jay, you can share it on your page so everybody can get to it. But I have like a list of stuff that she can utilize. I mean, from everything from clothes to shoes to socks, underclothes, brassieres. Now that it's getting cold, maybe coat. She have a coat, but like stuff that she may need, food. From food to like utensils and things like that. Like I was able to get her majority of the basic need things, but then there's like a lot more stuff that she just could still use. So we're just looking at getting everything that we can get for that. If you're looking to give a financial donation, I will be accepting that as well. You just hit me in my inbox, and we could talk about how we can arrange that. I would much rather prefer the item than the money. At this point, I think that the items, you might have a pair of jeans. I had a friend of mine that gave me jeans that was like $60, because she can't fit them or can't wear them, and my mother probably can. And I felt like if I would have asked for cash, she probably would have gave me like $20, right? And I still wouldn't have been able to get those jeans for my mom. So if I feel like the item costs way more than you trying to give out money, so give the donation of the item that you're probably not using, probably not utilizing, something you can part with, and then I'll accept that too, and we'll figure out a way to do everything else. So that's
Okay,
for my
so
mom.
that's your mom. Now do your thing.
So you can follow me on Instagram at I am Rema the Great. So I always use a derivation of Rema, right, of some sort, but I am Rema the Great, Rema the Great.
All one
On
word.
Instagram,
All one word.
all one word. I
I
am
am
Rema the
Reem is the
Great
great. Okay.
on Instagram,
How many
and
followers you got?
I have 15.2.
Jesus.
Don't roll your eyeballs.
I
But
got two.
listen,
I got 2K.
that's that's a beautiful 2K though. They're probably really dope. That's my second pages. My other pages, I have like 3,000 on each page and stuff like that. I have like 6 pages I manage. Also, my business page for what I do now, I have like several different businesses that I'm a part of. So I am the vice president of Black Fence Music Group, and what we do is marketing strategy and promotions for small businesses and large businesses and artists and etc. We get you like media runs and stuff like that. Get you on multiple platforms and promote you and give you exposure. So to
I should
follow my
I should get my nephew out in California. He's a rapper.
link us to follow
Oh.
my handle there is the indie rollout. That's at the indie INDIE rollout, indie rollout on Instagram.
Okay.
My second thing, my third thing, yeah, my second thing, it was two. That's three. It's two.
Three. We're up to three now.
All right, it's three. It's three. My
Mm.
third thing is I also am co-owner of a TV network called DH1 TV Network on Roku and Amazon. Download that. You can also follow us at DH1, and that's one spelled out ONE, TV Network on Instagram. And we are looking for shows for the network as well. And I am also like there's a bunch of stuff I do, right? I
Yeah.
should have written these
Right.
down at the beginning.
Like yeah.
I am also a youth mentor and a community leader here in my development in Harlem, East Harlem. So we're looking to connect with more youth and more organizations that's looking to give back to the people of Harlem and East Harlem. So if you're interested in that as well, you have some initiatives, holla at me. I tell my story very freely because everybody has a story. Everybody, nobody is just, who they, nobody's a saint. You know what I mean? So I tell my story freely because I know where I come from and I know where I'm going. So that's what I want to leave y'all with.
That's it.
And my name is Rema.
Anything else? Anything else?
Oh, shout out to you, J-Lat. What's good, son? Shout out to Times. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Wow. So yeah, that's it. She doesn't have much to do, as you can see. Very boring person.
I'm also an author too.
Yeah, you write
I'm an
books.
author, business.
You don't have a 95. You don't have a 9 to 5, do you?
I have a 4 to 7.
So you only work
part-time.
you only work 3 hours of the week. Okay.
I work 15 hours a week. I work Monday through Friday, 4 to 7.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you got to sleep now or something like that.
No, I gotta go make some more money. So I feel like it really quick. I just feel like I have to make up the money that I lost. So instead of doing this for money, I do all of those things and get the same amount of money the same way. And that's just shout out to everybody to have a hustle. You know,
Okay.
use the hustle that you had to build on the new hustle that you will have. Like,
Well, since you
that's
did my
it.
show, you're going to get like 2 new followers. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Probably want to get
And
like
I would love that
maybe
so
three,
much.
a strong three in a possible, for playing spades. But Rima, I want to thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. Uh, one of my better guests. I only had 6 of them. You were one of my better ones. Uh,
This is a really dope show. I got some people that I can send your way for real, for real.
oh,
We
send
gonna
them my
talk.
way. Oh yeah, send them my way. I want to hear people's stories. I want to hear their stories. But thank you for blessing my show. Uh, this is Rima, guys, and I am your boy JLat the Comedian. I want to do it. I want to do a little impression for you guys. I don't do impressions much, guys. I'm gonna do an impression. This is Joel Osteen. You ever watch Joel Osteen?
Oh my God. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Welcome to my show. I wanna leave you guys with a joke. I want to leave you guys with a joke. So, my first child, my wife was pregnant. Every day she was saying I can't. Next day she said I won't, and then then the next day she would say I shouldn't, and then one day I knew my boy was about to come because she was saying I can't 1 hour, then I shouldn't, and I won't. I knew my boy was coming because the contractions were getting closer. Turn to your neighbor and say you love Jesus. All right, guys. That's why Joel Osteen does that corny joke in the beginning. All right, guys.
Oh
I'm
my
done.
God.
I'm done being silly. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Rima. Thank you guys for joining me. Look out for the next episode, probably next week. I don't know when I feel like doing it. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Rima. Have a good
You're
night.
welcome.
Bye, everybody on Facebook. Bye, everybody on podcast. Look me up. Follow me. JLat the Comedian on Instagram. JLat on YouTube. Check me out. And be safe, everybody, in these holiday seasons. Stay COVID free. All right, guys. Bye, Rima. Have a good one. Bye.